On the news, newly recruited staff at the National Assembly inducted with a call to embrace legislative practice and adopt digital skills. Managing legislative crisis, updates from Benue and Anambra State Houses of Assembly. Plus, new lawmakers emerge in Kano following recent by-elections. Hello and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News, reaching you from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Abubakar Galadima. The clerk to the National Assembly, Kamoru Ogunlana, has urged newly recruited staff to familiarize themselves with legislative procedures and embrace digital proficiency essential for modern legislative functions. He made the call during the induction program for 785 newly employed staff of the National Assembly. Correspondent Amina Saidu reports.
In a message to the newly recruited staff, the clerk, Kamoru Ogunlana, emphasized that working in the legislature requires deep commitment, productivity, and professionalism.
It is important to know that working in the National Assembly is a calling that demands much more than academic qualifications or routine service. It requires a deep knowledge of legislative practices and procedures, high moral standards, and strong personal discipline.
Today's induction with a theme onboarding for effective performance and enhanced productivity is not only timely and strategic, it underscores the Commission's unwavering commitment to building a highly skilled, motivated and value-driven workforce that will support the National Assembly in delivering its constitutional role and mandate.
Some of the newly inducted staff expressed readiness to contribute meaningfully to the legislative process and uphold the values of the institution.
This training has helped a lot of us to understand that beyond just the working years, there are other benefits. You will get access to know people, you will get experience on the job.
This exercise actually, we are able to know more about what National Assembly talks about and encompasses. Not just to come to the work and work and work. You get to know more about your service here, the service, and what will benefit you as an individual.
The 3-day induction program for new staff will equip them with the necessary strategies to perform their duties effectively, as their roles are essential to strengthening governance and advancing democracy. Amina Saidu, NTA News.
In Benue State, the House of Assembly has suspended its former Speaker, Mr. Ondona Dajo, over an alleged attempt to impeach Governor Hyacinth Alia. This action followed a motion of urgent public importance moved by Emmanuel Shimawa, representing the Kiana constituency. Assembly correspondent Grace Anyalewa Achekpa reports.
According to the motion moved by member representing Kia State constituency, Emmanuel Shimawa, it was alleged that the former speaker, Mr. Ondona Dajo, had mobilized some members of the assembly to impeach Governor Hyacinth Alia.
Informed that on Thursday, 21st August 2025, Right Honorable Hyacinth Ondona Dajo, the then Speaker of the House, called the honorable members to a meeting and thereafter used the attendance signed during the meeting to initiate impeachment against His Excellency, the Governor of Benue State, Governor Hyacinth Alia.
I rise this afternoon to second the motion by Honorable Emmanuel Shimawa on the ground that things like this has been happening in this house. 13 members, if you can recall, have been suspended. 5 members, if you recall, has been suspended in this house as well. I, Right Honorable Abu Umoru James, representing our past state constituency, was suspended from this house on the same.
That the House suspended Right Honorable Hyacinth Ondona Dajo, Boko West State constituency, from legislative duty for 6 months to allow him to have a rethink on his action. This 6 months has been reduced. 6 months is too much. He will serve a 3-month suspension.
In another development, the House screened and confirmed 5 commissioner nominees sent in by Governor Alia.
Honorable Ogo has been confirmed as the commissioner. Honorable Kunde has been confirmed as the commissioner. Honorable Amadi Kwagba has been confirmed as the commissioner. Honorable G. Joseph has been confirmed as the commissioner. Honorable Tiza Emojime has been confirmed as the commissioner.
The House also resolved that the two commissioner nominees not confirmed earlier have been confirmed, following a correspondence sent to the House by the governor.
Mr. Speaker and distinguished honorable colleagues and members, we recall that the said commissioner nominees were rejected on the basis of petitions received against them. However, it is pertinent to note that the petition did not arise from any indictment, conviction, or pronouncement of a competent court of law that constitutionally disqualified them from holding public office. Honorable James Duem has been confirmed as a commissioner. Honorable James Yangen has also been confirmed as commissioner.
During plenary, the House resolved that the executive secretaries of SUBEB, Benue Lottery Board, and the Otukpo Local Government Council chairman, who were suspended for 1 month, be recalled from their suspension following a letter of apology signed by the three of them. The House is to reconvene on the 2nd of September 2025. In Makudi, Grace Anyalewa Ichepa, NTA News.
Similarly, the Anambra State House of Assembly has suspended Bernard Odumezua, representing the Anya Melum constituency, for a period of 3 months. His suspension is linked to alleged unparliamentary conduct, including inciting comments made via social media that were deemed capable of undermining the integrity of the House. Daniel Okpai brings us the details.
The suspension of the embattled member follows motion of urgent public importance moved by Honorable Tony Mobike, Agwata 2 constituency, and seconded by Jude Ngobili, Ihiala 2 constituency, on 19th August 2025, wherein the House established the fact that Honorable Bernard Udemezue has taken to his various social media handles to make inciting comments capable of disturbing public peace and bringing disrespect and obvious ridicule to the Honorable House. The matter was subsequently referred to the House Committee on Rules, Business, Ethics and Privileges for necessary action. Relying on various documentary evidence, the House Committee invited Udemezue to appear before it, but he failed to honor the invitation. As a result of the findings of the committee, Honorable Bernard Udemezue was suspended.
The committee recommends that the State Commissioner of Police, the State Security Services, should also take immediate action to communicate forthwith to investigate the allegation, as Honorable Bernard Udemezue has proven to have vital information that will aid in the investigation.
The question there is this: how many times has he moved a motion concerning the plight of Ndanya Melum at the floor of the House? How many times has he written Mr. Governor talking about Ndanya Melum on the way he wants Ndanya Melum to be represented?
All the recommendations the House Committee on Rules, Business, Ethics and Privileges is passed as a resolution of this Honorable House. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The committee, headed by Honorable Ofodeme Ikenna, recommended, amongst others, that Honorable Udemezue should not be seen within the premises of the House of Assembly during the period of his suspension, and that he should conduct himself properly as being guided by the standing orders of the House, especially in public places. From the Anambra State House of Assembly, Daniel Okbai, NTA News.
Legislative gridlocks, whether arising from impeachment proceedings or disputes over the appointment of principal officers, often present complex challenges. In this special report, Issa Mohammed explores mechanisms for managing legislative crisis and restoring harmony within state assemblies.
Legislative crisis occurs when there is deadlock between different branches of government or within the legislature itself. This could happen due to disagreements over policy, appointment, or even impeachment proceedings. Impeachment is a constitutional process that allows for the removal of public officers, including principal officers of the legislature. The process can, however, be contagious and usually leads to political logjam. The appointment of principal officers of the legislature can also be another source of contention. These positions hold significant power, influence, and disagreements over who should occupy what position.
At any time, regardless of the level, whether it's the level of a state assembly or national assembly, they are free to elect their leaders. There are also code of conduct guiding the operations of any legislature. So the issue of rancor within an assembly has to do with interests.
Basically, some of the crises you find in the state are being instigated by the governors and some party leaders who want to have it their way. But if the Speaker of the House and the leadership of the houses in the states are allowed to perform their duty without interference from above, there will be no crisis.
Experts say effective communication, negotiations, and compromise are key. Lawmakers must be willing to listen to each other's perspective, put aside their differences, and work towards a common goal and find common ground.
By respecting the sanctity of the institutions they are representing, by maintaining balance between the interests of the members, legislature, and also interests of the executive. That's how you maintain stability.
But when you have experienced legislators, you'll be able to put the new members through. And after a short while, the new members will act according to the norms of the legislator.
They believe the Constitution also provides a framework for resolving disputes, but it's up to lawmakers to use it effectively and must be willing to respect the rules and procedures that govern the legislative process.
All our conducts are regulated by law. If you don't want any constitutional crisis, then don't violate the law.
Good enough, everybody knows what the Constitution says. Sometimes people disobey the Constitution. It happens a lot, you know, in the states and in the legislature. But when it happens, the rule books will help them to come back to the normal situation.
These, of course, will overcome the most challenging crisis of the legislature. In Abuja, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
Now to our discussion segment, which provides deeper insight into the topic, challenges of managing legislative impasses. Joining us is the former Chairman, Senate Committee on Rules and Business, Senator Ita Enang. Let's begin with this. What are the key factors that contributes to legislative impasses?
Whatever happens in the, what brings crisis at the national level, at the state houses of assembly, are the interests of the governors and some powerful forces. It is very rare that it comes from them. The legislature in Nigeria, particularly the state legislature, is at the whims and caprice of the governors. That is why the state governments are not doing well, because the state houses of assembly do not have the kind of guts, the kind of coordination, the ability to debate laws, the ability to make laws on their own, you know, like the National Assembly will do. They can never reject a bill. They can never reject an appointee of the governor unless it is the interest of the governor. And so it doesn't give credence to good governance at the state level. And so when we say that it is passed by the State House of Assembly, is like the House of Assembly is an extension of the cabinet of the State Executive Council, which does only what the governors want. And so it's dangerous for democracy at that level, and it's dangerous for development at that level, it's dangerous for transparency at that level, very dangerous for accountability. at that level.
What role do constitutional provisions play in managing legislative crisis, particularly in cases involving impeachment and elections of principal officers?
Whenever leadership emerges at that level, there is respect. And in that there is respect, there is autonomy, and there is a level of legislative independence. And there is a level of checks and balance between the executive and the legislature. But when you have the legislature, the legislative leadership emerge, perhaps in accordance with the run of play, you always find a situation where you say a table there, like I've said, where they may not be well enough, they may not be disposed enough to consider the merit or demerit of any measure brought to themselves. They may not be able to look at the instrument or the, perhaps if the executive wants to take loan, they may not be able to look at the loan, the request for the loan, to see, did we not take a loan on this matter before? What loan, how much have we invested in this sector? What is the local domestic financing contribution to what we want to fund loan? If it is a loan to the State House of Assembly, has it been approved by the State House of Assembly? What is the funds inflow that will fund? What will be the sources of repayment of this loan? What is the loan portfolio of the particular arm of the particular, for over the particular project? How will we pay this loan? The legislature in such case does not look at it. They simply say, Oga has sent it. We pass it in the way it is, even in envelope.
How can principal officers maintain stability and order within legislative arm of government?
Principal officers can maintain stability so long as there is no strange hand of the governor of the executive. They really can be themselves because one, they depend on the governor for their second term ticket or for their return ticket to the State House of Assembly. They depend on the governor for funding of the legislature. That is why, as under the President Buhari administration, we set up the Presidential Implementation Committee on Autonomy of State Legislature and State Judiciary. And we're able to bring up Executive Order 10. That Executive Order 10, although it was, when it was struck down by the Supreme Court, it was, the whole provision were translated into the Constitution, and it became a constitutional provision, saying that the Houses of Assembly shall have a budget of their own, and in the budget, there shall be a funds allocation committee of the state chaired by the Commissioner for Finance, and then made up of the Clerk of the House of Assembly, Permanent Secretary of the House of Assembly Service Commission, the Commissioner of Finance as Chairman, the Accountant General as member, and representative of other interests, to make the House of Assembly part of the finance system, so that when the funds comes, they sit together in the allocation committee and they say, okay, State House of Assembly, this is your budget. This is what we have received from the Federation account. This is the internally generated revenue contribution to the State Consolidated Revenue Fund. So, pro rata, this is the state executive's own, this is the judiciary's own, and this is the one for the House of Assembly.
What are the relevant constitutional provisions and House rules governing the elections and impeachment of principal officers?
The Constitution simply says that there shall be the Senate and House of Representatives. There shall be the House of Assembly in every state. And it says that they shall make their own rules. And it is in the rules of the legislature that the provision for the election of the presiding officers are made. That the presiding officers are the Senate President, the Speaker, and the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, and the Deputy Speaker of the State House of Assembly. It is the standing orders of the rules that we call it, that provides for other principal officers, that creates the provision of the leader of the House, leader of the Senate, chief whip of the House, chief whip of the Senate, then deputy chief leader, deputy chief whip, and so on. Minority leader, majority leader, and so on. It is the standing order that provides it.
Thank you for your time and insights. It's time for a short break. When we return, we will bring you more reports from across the state's assemblies. Stay with us. Are
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Welcome back. We now go to Kano State, where two newly elected lawmakers have been sworn in following recent by-elections. Samira Hamisushira reports that the legislators will represent Bagwai, Shanono, and Gari Tsanyawa constituencies, respectively, bringing the total number of lawmakers in the assembly to 40, as stipulated by the Constitution.
This Tuesday's plenary at the Kano State House of Assembly is a historical one because this is the first time lawmakers are going to be sworn in this temporary chamber, and also since the inauguration of the 10th Kano State House of Assembly under the leadership of Speaker Jibril Ismail Felgore. Garbaya Ugarmai, who represents Enyawagari constituency, had his election nullified by the electoral umpire due to irregularities. The seat of Bagwai Shanuno State constituency became vacant after the demise of Halilu Ibrahim Kundila in April 2024. After the conduct of the by-election by Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, Gwarmai reclaimed his mandate, while Ali Lawal Al-Hassan took over the seat of Bagwai Shanunu State constituency. Both lawmakers were accompanied to the chamber by their respective party supporters, including the State Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, for the member representing Garis Enyawa. The House has adjourned plenary to Monday, the 1st of September 2025. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisushira, NTA News.
The Gombe State House of Assembly has adopted the report of its Committee on Local Governments and Chieftaincy Affairs on a bill proposing the creation of 13 new local councils development areas. Abbas Maikano reports.
That is the report of the House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs on this important bill for the creation of the LCDS, that is the 13 LCDS across our respective constituency, that is out of the existing 11 local government in the state.
This report presentation is a significant step towards enhancing local governance. It symbolizes the creation of 13 new local council development areas. The initiative aims to strengthen grassroots governance, improve service delivery, and promote inclusive and participatory democracy across the state. The newly created LCDs and their headquarters are Akko North, with headquarters in Amada, while Pindiga is the headquarters of Akko West. Balanga South has its headquarters in Bambam, Bilir West, Tal, Duku North, Malala, Funakai South, Tongo, Gombe South, Bolari, Kaltungo East, Wengi, Kwame West, Bojude, Nafada South, Biring Fulani, Pero Chwengi, Filia. Yamal 2 East, Dadinkoa, and Yamal 2 West has its headquarters in Zabuk. These LCDs are expected to address pressing local needs in critical areas, including security, education, healthcare, infrastructure, and social services.
So I congratulate the good people of Gombe State. I congratulated myself. I congratulated my government, the government of His Excellency, Muhammadu Yahya, for bringing policies that is directly to change the life of the citizens of Gombe State. It's all about development, bringing development to the grassroots, making sure that at least there is speedy response of the authorities to the needs of the people within the limited resources.
Once the bill is assented by Governor Inuahia, the implementation will be rolled out in phases with clear operational frameworks, staffing, structures, and budgetary allocations to ensure efficiency. For now, interim management committee will oversee operations in each LCDA pending substantive local elections. In Gombe, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
That's it on NTA Parliamentary News. For more updates, follow us on our social media handles displayed on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Abubakar Galadima. Do have a good evening.